What's going on, everyone? So in this video, I want to walk you through a system that I've been using for about a week now. So every time I want to take notes on my phone, I'll go into the Notes app. I have an iPhone, and I'll go into the Notes app, toss down my thought, whatever I want to say, and it lives in there, and I have folders. I try to categorize it and organize it as best I can, but like at the end of the day, the Notes app just isn't great. It's not a fantastic database for storing information, at least in my opinion. So what I decided to build was a system using the Shortcuts app on the iPhone, set up a shortcut to a webhook in Make, then that webhook will send my notes to an Airtable database that I can access anytime on my computer, obviously. And it's just organized infinitely better, and it looks amazing. And also, you can expand this scenario to do whatever you want. Like, it's crazy how customizable this is, and you can send this data to so many places and update things, and yeah, it's so customizable. But like, I think the advantages of something like this are that obviously we probably have like, some of you watching this probably have like Notion databases, maybe Airtable, maybe just like a Google Sheets to keep thoughts, information, maybe content ideas, whatever it may be, right? But it's so easy to do it from your phone, and we all walk around with our phones all the time, right? Like when I'm out, I'll just be tossing stuff in Notes, but then I have to go and transfer it somewhere else, so it's this big thing. But this system has been really transformative for me so far, and I'm excited to expand on it. But in this video number one, I just wanted to kind of lay the foundation for you and show you how to build it yourself step by step so that you can go and actually start using this thing. So as usual, let's get into it. It always starts in Make. So we're gonna hop in. This is a brand new scenario I just created, just named it iPhone webhook right here. So we're gonna hop in, and we are going to click on the webhook right here, and we're gonna go custom webhook. And I've already done a webhook that I haven't used yet for this build, so I just named it Brain. You just click on add, and you can name it whatever you want. You don't have to worry about the IP restrictions as well. So then this is our URL right here. We are gonna need that. But I'm gonna go over to the iPhone after. So we're just gonna finish the Make build right now, and then we'll go to the iPhone, but we will need that URL. And then the next module is literally just gonna be an Airtable create a record module right here. It's just a 2-module scenario for the base of it. Like, it's that simple, which is awesome. Like, I love these simple ones to get people introduced to Make, get people doing it by themselves, because people definitely have limiting beliefs around what they can do in terms of Make, but it's possible. And like these step-by-step videos, at least when I was learning as well, I really appreciated them because I just got like a full glimpse into how things worked at like a really granular level under the hood. So that's obviously really nice when you're first starting out. So let me just open up my Airtable base actually, because I created one before this video, just to save time. Here are some tests I was doing before. We can delete those. So this is just like, couldn't be a simpler table. Thoughts, less important thoughts, like sub notes, you can think of them as, type of thought, and then created, which in this case is a date. So I did the friendly format, and that's it. That's literally it. So that's why when we go back here and I click on my second brain base and the table, second brain right here, we get all of our records predetermined by Airtable. It knows what's in here because of this, right? That's all that's happening there. So we are now going to move over to the iPhone and set up our automation in Shortcuts with this URL here. And then we will come back and finish out our Airtable build. got the iPhone. Now we're going to want to go into our Shortcuts app. Boom. We're going to click this plus in the top right-hand corner, and we're going to click Add Action. So the first action we're going to want to add is just a text field. Boom. Now this text field is going to be our first field that we fill out. So in this case, if we go back to our Airtable base, it's thoughts. So it's just that initial, and I'm just calling it thoughts. Doesn't matter what you call it. Could be absolutely anything. But we're just going to do thoughts like this with a colon. And you'll see why we do that in 1 second. So, go back in. Okay. So now we have that one bubble right there, thoughts. Now we're going to go to the bottom here, search for another one, and it's literally just going to be text again. Now you could just have one of these, right? You could just have thoughts, you could just have quick note. I have 3 because I want to have kind of like sublayers to my data and categorize it at a finer level, but again, you totally don't have to. So then we have thoughts here, we have less important right here. And now our third one, okay, done. Now our third one is going to be a text right here again, and it's going to be type of thought. Nice. Then after all those actions, then comes in the URL. So we're going to go to type in URL, and then we're going to want to click on get contents of URL. Now this is where we need to copy and paste our URL. So we are going to go back to make, click on this. So we have our webhook URL right here. We're going to need our webhook. Boom, copy address to clipboard right there. Handy little button that Make provides. Now we're going to want to go, I just copy and paste it into my notes right here. Then you can hit the camera. Then you go, back to the notes on the iPhone. Sometimes they don't share correctly right away. So what you can do in notes is you can go to camera, if I could get this to work, scan documents. Then you can actually just film and it'll scan and it'll save it just like that. Or, no, it's scan text actually. That's what it is. So we're gonna just wanna scan the text and then insert it just like that. Yeah. There we go. So now, copy the webhook, go back over to our shortcuts. Now, the URL, we're gonna paste it in right there. And the method is gonna be a post method. The request body is JSON, that's good. Now we're gonna need to add the fields of what this webhook actually sends, right? So in the request body, there needs to be like key value pairs that get associated with the data, the data that we want to send. So if we go back to here, the key for the first one is going to be thoughts, exactly what we had before. And then the text, we can click select variable right here. And the text is going to be this top text. Boom. Now we're going to add a new field. It's going to be, I'm just calling it less important. Probably not the best name, but it works. Click on the variable, new field, type of thought, select variable, done. Okay, that's perfect. So now we're done. If we click this little eye on the middle of the bottom of the screen, we click add to home screen right there. Boom, done. So now you can see we have the text right here. If we click on it, we can just click allow. We'll only have to do that one time. And then, oh, I believe we have to click ask each time. Ask each time on all of them. Just add this, click done, go back, text. There we go. So now we can go, hey, hey, hi, hey. Then, oh, right, okay, we actually have to run this really quick. Click OK on this, run once. Now this is waiting for data. Hi, hey, hi. Now, you can see on the screen here, we got our data from the phone. It's so cool. Dude, it's so cool. Okay, let me just stop screen recording. All right, so now that's our iPhone portion set up. Like, that's literally it. That's all we have to do. That will now be in our Shortcuts app forever, and will be on our home screen forever in that new app that we've created. It's almost like you're creating a little mini piece of software. It's a really cool intro into the whole world. But now, as we can see from the one here, our operation was successful. In our bundle, we have our type of thought, thoughts, and our less important thought. And they're exactly what we expected them to be. So our webhook is working. This one obviously failed because it's not set up yet at all. So let's just do that all over again. Base, second brain. A little sip of coffee. So now we have our data from the webhook that we can dynamically insert. So in thoughts, we're going to put thoughts. In less important, we're going to put less important. In type of thought, we're going to put type of thought. So that's it for Airtable, really. However, some of you may have caught something. Let's just save this really quick. Some of you may have caught something that I didn't bring up, and that is when we were setting it up in our iPhone, we actually had the words still in our paragraph, and as you can see right here. So even though our key is type of thought, for this case, and in this example, thoughts, right? Our actual body, like the text that we're actually inserting is type of thought, hi. So essentially, I only put type of thought, thoughts, and less important as placeholders for when we click on our text widget on our iPhone. We'll actually have like kind of placeholder text, so type of thought, and then we insert our thought. That's just so that it looks a little bit cleaner to me. I don't know if you can actually insert placeholder text in the Shortcuts app. Maybe you can. Maybe I'm just not familiar with it yet. But ideally, we get rid of that, right? Because we don't want like it to be type of thought, I had a good day today, right? Because we know it's the type of thought already in Airtable. Like we know that that's our thought category. So how do we get rid of that? Well, we're going to use a function in Make called replace. So if we go to, where is it? Here we go, functions for working with arrays. We are going to hit the old, where's replace at? Can I just search this? Okay, replace. Why did I miss it? Am I just losing it? Have I had too much coffee or do I need more coffee? Oh, replace. Okay, there it is. Okay, sorry for that. So we have replace. We found replace. So we're going to use the replace function. As you can see, we're working with text and binary functions, which we are doing. Now, if we hover over it, if you hover over any function in Make, you get a little explanation of what it's going to do. So as you can see, replace, and then we have our word or variable in this case, semicolon, hello, hi. So the first letter, or sorry, the first word after our semicolon, in this case, hello, is the word that we are going to replace. And then the secondary word after our second semicolon is going to be the word that we are going to insert in the first word's place. So hopefully that made sense. So we are going to add this. We are going to put in our thoughts, right? Oh, not in the start. We're going to put in thoughts right here. Then we are going to replace the type of thought, type of thought, colon, with this. We're going to put 2 quotation marks. And in this case, this will evaluate to an empty string. So it will just replace it with nothing, right? It'll just replace it with white space. So that's good. Hopefully that should work. That's what we want. Now we're just going to do the exact same for down here. Replace less important. Is it caps? It is. Less important with the same thing. I don't believe you have to put a space in the middle, but we'll try it out and we'll see. Okay, let me just copy and paste this. Now we're going to do type of thought. Type of thought. This one isn't caps. Type of thought, just like that with that. Okay, amazing. Now that is set to go. Let's save it and let's give it another go here. So we're going to run it. Okay, iPhone is recording. We're good to go. Let's hop into text. Now we have thoughts. Hi, hey, hello. All right, so only the less important one worked. As you can see, we've replaced less important with just white space here. So now less important is just hey, but thoughts still has the word thoughts. So I don't know exactly why. It's because I believe it's because we did not spell it right. So type of I wonder why it's not working. The only one that worked is less important. But why? I'm not sure what's different about it. That's important. Oh, well, first of all, it's because we have type of thought up here, but it should be thoughts up there. And then type of thoughts needs to be capped down here. Type of thought. Okay. Now that should work. We've corrected our capitalization issues. Okay, so I'm just going to do it on my phone. Let's give that another go. I'm going to run this. Boom. Am I on the right one? Yep. Okay, text. We're going to go hey, hey, hi, hey. Okay, they both received. Awesome. All right, now you can see our replace is working perfectly. Thoughts, hey, hi, hey. And now we just have those. So That's amazing. I'm pretty sure I saved it, but I'll save it again. I'm manic about saving my scenarios because I've I've lost it one too many times. Um, so now if we go to Airtable, we can see our first test here where only less important worked and there were still the thoughts, but now it's just hey, hi, hey. So that's amazing. That's exactly what we wanted. That's the functionality that we were looking for, and we've got there. So let's go. That's perfect. Now let's build scenario number, well, so honestly, that's kind of the end of this build. It's, again, extremely beginner friendly. Anyone with an iPhone can do this, and I'm sure that there's probably a similar feature on like Android phones. And that's it. Like, it's just so useful. And it's just pops up on the phone, toss it in, it appears in Airtable. And again, what I was saying is you can keep this scenario separate. A big thing I like to talk about is compartmentalizing your scenarios so you don't necessarily overcomplicate these big scenarios. People think it looks cool when you have 1,000 modules. It just makes it more complicated, especially if you have a contractor or another person looking at it and working on it. So you could essentially just create a brand new scenario and you could search your Airtable records, pull them, get GPT to summarize them, give you content ideas. Like for example, you could do like type of thought and have like content be in there. So then you could go, hey, every type of thought that says content, pull those and look at like what I could do with those content ideas. Maybe you could pull like an RSS feed from some of your favorite creators and compare what they're doing with the content ideas you have and like extrapolate and compare and contrast. You could get GPT to give you like new ideas about your content. You could, it's like, use these if you're managing a team, use your thoughts. You could send out like a weekly email with all your thoughts in it, or like a text message chain. It's unlimited, right? There's a million things you can do. And I intend to maybe explore those in like the next segment of this video. But again, just wanted to get everyone started with like the simplest version possible. Okay, this video is probably already too long, but I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.